Hey, my name is Kyle Rush, and you are watching the No Counts Given podcast. Dance Team Union is a proud sponsor of the No Counts Given podcast. Dance Team Union is proud to foster a supportive and positive atmosphere unlike any other. At Dance Team Union, they believe in lifting up each other and celebrating a shared love for dance. Join DTU and immerse yourself in the incredible dance community, surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who share your passion and enthusiasm. Experience the magic of Dance Team Union, a place where support flows freely and every dancer is celebrated. Join the movement today and be a part of something extraordinary. Learn more about their upcoming camps and competitions by visiting www.danceteamunion.com. Welcome back to the No Counts Given podcast, the premier podcast for Dance Team. I'm your host, Kyle Rush. I'm here every single Thursday. I'm here every single week with you. If you are tuning in every single week, I just want to say thank you. If you're not, this is your first episode, second episode, you need to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I'm saying it very early because I have been lacking on saying it early into the intro of the episode. So if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, follow, like, send to a friend, a dance team member. If you're following on or you're listening on Spotify, after you're done listening, give us a good rating. Give us a good rating. It really helps us out. It helps me out knowing the direction of where we really want to go with this podcast, but then also like how you guys are receiving the podcast, right? Today's episode, we have Sara, the queen of POM, Sara Heptig with K-State, Kansas State University. I went to Dance Team Union College, or the College Classic hosted by Dance Team Union. You get it. And I got to watch K-State for the first time, like in person. And it was so electric. If you know me, you know I love POM. I am a POM junkie. I live and stand by that. And so I could appreciate a good POM routine, great visuals, great feet on the floor, formation changes, and watching K-State honestly was like a dream. I was like, I want to go to Kansas State University. So meeting with Sara, and then after, well, actually, let me rewind. After we posted the teaser, which was honestly just a few hours ago, so much love that Sara was getting, and I could honestly see why. Someone who has been in the dance team world for quite some time now and knows her stuff, and getting to sit and chat with her was just very inspirational, to say the least. So I hope you guys enjoy this interview with Sara from Kansas State University, and don't forget to follow. That's your friendly reminder. All right, here we go. Interview. You had an incredible weekend. Before I get into that, I want to know more about you. Who is Sara? What do you do inside practices? Who are you outside practices, on the weekends with friends? Who is Sara?
Well, I am from the Kansas City area.
There we go.
I grew up there and I actually went to Kansas State myself. And then once I graduated, I moved back to my hometown in Olathe, and I coached Olathe North High School, which was my alma mater.
Very talented program.
Oh, thank you very much.
Very talented, yes.
I was there for 14 years. And then after that, my husband is actually from Manhattan.
Oh, wow.
And so he had a job in Topeka, and we were living in Lawrence, and I was driving to Kansas City, and he was driving to Topeka.
Yeah.
But we knew when we wanted to have a child, we wanted to be one direction or another. We didn't want to be doing all the driving back and forth. So we moved right outside to his hometown, right outside of Manhattan.
Yeah.
And then we had a daughter named Brooklyn. So I'm also a mom. She is now 11 years old.
Dancer?
So, this was her first year. She danced up until this past year. We're more of a ball player and everything.
Oh, that's nice.
Which I'm finding is actually a good thing for both of us. So she's thriving. I'm learning how to be a sports mom. I'm learning about all the sports and everything. So it's been good.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I work for Dance Team Union. I am the high school nationals advisor. So I get to work with all the coaches, and my job is to help their nationals experience, to take care of them and take care of their teams and make sure it's an incredible experience for them. And then also client relations. So for all of our DTU customers in high school and elementary school, middle school, to be able to help take care of anything that they need.
That's amazing. So like I was just saying, you had an incredible weekend.
Thank you.
I want to start with POM.
Okay.
Everyone that knows and follows me on TikTok knows that I am a POM junkie.
Oh, I love it.
I love great POM. Sharp motions, the visuals, stomping on the floor with your feet in every transition. And K-State was bringing all of it this
Good.
past weekend. What went into like building that POM routine? The music, choosing choreographers, like what went into building that routine?
Our choreographer is Katie Fearlane, and
Love Katie.
she's
Shout
amazing.
out Katie.
Yes, shout out
Love
to
her.
Katie.
Uh-huh.
This is actually our third year getting to work with Katie,
Amazing.
and that's been amazing. She is an incredible choreographer, human being, and just bringing into her into our program, I feel like has transformed not only our POM but just who we are as a team, because she's been an incredible mentor to me and just an incredible mentor to the girls as well.
Yeah.
But it was really fun getting into our third year working together, because I feel like she's gotten to know our program. And
Yes.
as I was noticing in our choreography, it was really catered to specifically to who we are, to our strengths, to our specific girls, and
Yeah.
everything like that. So it's been a fun journey with her.
Yeah.
She comes up with our incredible theme. It was actually her idea and everything. And she knows we like to come up with some sort of theme that
Yeah.
we're able to put a little creative spin on it and everything like that. And so we were really excited, of course, to be able to incorporate the Janet Jackson. That was
Right?
to my heart.
Like-
As soon as she said that, I'm like, Janet Jackson, I'm in. And I thought she did a really great job with the choreography of, the theme was rhythm, but then being able to use that in the choreography of not just having rhythm, not saying it in the song, but actually using the rhythm and the musics and everything. I thought it was genius with what she did.
Yeah, I loved it. It was just so innovative, and just seeing K-State perform like at another level in person while I'm witnessing it front row, it was just amazing. Take me through Jazz. I love the costumes.
Yay.
They were giving everything. I love the lines it was creating. Tell me more about Jazz. What went into like picking the concept and the song, and who choreographed it, all the great things.
Absolutely. Kristen Burton was our choreographer.
Amazing.
And so Kristen and I actually coached together at Olathe North. So she was our choreographer at Olathe North. So I have a great relationship with her. And when I started at K-State, we were not competing. And I knew that was a dream of mine, to get K-State competing at nationals.
Yes.
And so our first year was COVID year. So that year was all done by video. We are actually under the band. And so our band director, he wasn't sure about the competition aspect of things, because he wanted to make sure our priority was the things at school and everything like that, which is 100% very important to us. So the COVID year was a great opportunity to be able to experiment with, we were only sending in a video. We weren't taking away from anything that we were doing and everything like that. So I reached out to Kristen, asked her if she'd want to work with us, and she was all in. And so then the next year we were able to start competing in person, which was amazing. And so she's been with us on the journey since we started competing.
Very nice.
And so this year we wanted to try to do a little bit of a different route. We've kind of done a little bit more of the contemporary, darker style routines, and we wanted to try to do something to mix it up this year. We thought we'd take a little bit of a risk and change it up. So just kind of working with Kristen to come up with what direction we would go. I know Body Language is definitely a classic song.
Yes.
We tried to put a little bit different spin to it and everything as well. And it was a lot of fun. It was a very challenging process for us. I feel like the routine we started with and the routine we ended with were completely different. I feel like we cleaned it one time and then redid and then cleaned it again and everything like that. But I think that's how a lot of jazz routines
for sure
end up working out.
You got to find what works and what doesn't work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we were really proud and excited of the final product. So
it came out amazing.
Thank you.
Title in both.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Which, when's the last time K-State titled in both Jazz and POM?
That has never happened before.
So making history.
Making history.
Congratulations.
Yes.
And I know for some time, you guys have been wanting to come for that Jazz title.
Yes.
After getting that this weekend, what was the reaction from your athletes? What was like the response that they were giving? Because I'm sure an amazing feeling.
Oh my goodness. We were all in complete shock, absolute shock. It has been something we've been very much working towards every year, trying to build on our technique and build on what we're doing and everything like that. And I think also trying to instill the confidence in them as dancers. We feel a little bit more confident in our POM and trying to build that we are strong dancers all around. So making them feel that as well has been part of our process. And so they were over the moon excited. I think we're all on cloud nine and still a little bit in disbelief. So
yeah. Well, incredible job.
Thank you.
Aside from K-State, you are also a Dance Team Union, like you just mentioned.
Yes.
What's your role? Well, you already gave me your role, so let me go into this. Have you learned anything from working at DTU that you kind of bring into your program?
That's a good question. I feel like working through DTU, like I said, my role is specifically with the coaches. So
Yes.
I get to see and work with so many different teams. I get to, I love getting to have that firsthand experience with the coaches, especially.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where my heart is.
Yeah.
And so I think just getting to see all the love that everybody pours into their program, it's really interesting because everybody is so different and so unique. And it's really fun to get to see how that plays out in every single
Yeah.
different team and everything like that. So I feel like I get a front row seat to having those relationships, and then getting to take pieces of that and see, oh, they do an amazing job with that. Maybe there's pieces of that I can bring into my program
Yes.
and different things as well.
Oh, yeah. One thing I remember, so coming to DTU back in February, that was my first DTU experience
Okay.
other than like virtual competitions,
Okay.
right? And I remember one thing that I just kept thinking in February was just how incredible the people are.
Yes.
Dance team union staff, from the coaches to the athletes to the parents, all of the energy was just incredible.
Absolutely.
And I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and I always hear people talking about how amazing the staff is at Dance Team Union. It's like as soon as information is sent, they are like feeling like they're already a part of like a family per se. So it
Yes.
sounds like there's just amazing people that work for Dance Team Union.
There is some of the most incredible people that I know, and I think everybody cares so much, and everybody has a heart for what we're doing here,
Yes.
which I think you see that at the base of everything that is done. It truly is for the coaches, for the dancers. I feel like every decision is what is going to be for them and for the best and everything. And I
Yeah.
think you feel that. I said, I feel like when I'm at high school nationals, I try to put that out because
Yes.
that's how I want the teams to feel. And then in this role for College Classic that I have nothing to do with, I get to feel that as a coach, and I can say what's really unique is like I feel that exact same thing that I try to put out. I feel that as a coach as well. So I think it's really special. And we were for my days are a little bit mixed up now, but for prelims day on Saturday,
Yeah.
after we had done our Spirit Showdown routine, we were the second last routine to go, and we were walking out, and Grand Canyon was getting ready. They were the very last ones to go, and it was I think 9 o'clock at night, and everybody had left the arena.
Yeah.
So we made sure to go run up front behind their families
I love
to be
that.
able to cheer them on and support them, because that's what we do here. We're all family, and want to feel
Yes.
that love for each other and everything. So,
Yes. I made a TikTok video yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. I was in the front row watching K-State POM.
okay.
And you had two athletes that were next to me, two alternates.
Okay.
And they were screaming and cheering and pounding on the floor. I had to scoot back for a second because I was like, I need to capture this.
Oh,
Like that
wonderful.
moment was just so incredibly heartwarming to see. Being an alternate isn't always tough.
Yeah.
And being able to take your ego out of it and say, I'm still a part of this team. I'm putting my full faith in who's on the floor, and I'm going to support them, is incredible. It speaks to the culture that you are building
Oh,
at
thank you.
K-State.
Thank you.
Absolutely. How do you manage your time between your full-time job and K-State? Because running a dance team, that is a full-time job in its own.
100%.
How do you balance that?
I don't know that I balance it very well. I'll say a little bit of lack of sleep sometimes,
yeah.
or a lot of the time,
Yeah.
and everything. And it comes in peaks and waves and everything. Like I said, the high school nationals is a very busy time for me leading up to that, especially the month of January. And February as we have high school nationals. November is very heavy for K-State when we start overlapping football, volleyball,
yeah.
basketball, and everything in that month. And so I don't know if I have the secret to balance, or just say get a little crazy in there and everything.
Yeah.
But I feel so blessed because I am just I'm living in dance is what I do.
Yeah.
I breathe it in, breathe it out, and I can't think of a better way to be spending my life. So.
Absolutely. So one thing about POM I want to say, I like the word POM bots.
I love it. Okay.
I feel like the classy cats over there are some POM bots.
Oh, thank you.
All right. What goes into creating that level of detail and synchronization?
That is a great question.
Yeah.
A lot of time, I would say. I feel like I think I especially I say cleaning is one of my my love languages.
Uh-huh.
I love cleaning routines. I love being
It's a
super
secret
nitpicky.
sauce.
I
Not
truly
everyone
believe.
could clean a routine.
I think it's something special,
It
and I feel
is.
like that's maybe one of my gifts, is that I love to see a really clean routine. And sometimes when I'm watching routines, I have a hard time seeing individuals because I just see the overall group picture,
Yes.
and everything. And so we spend a lot of time on the details, and we start that from the very beginning. When we're doing our beginning of the season is usually spent on learning our sidelines and timeout dances at the beginning of the year. And so our team, I feel like we're learning how I clean, how we clean right off the
Yes.
bat from the beginning. So by the time we get to nationals, it's kind of already started to become second nature. And then of course nationals is a lot more in depth than a timeout routine that we're spending a week on
Yep.
versus preparing for nationals. And then we spend time especially when we're in national season. So second semester, we start every practice with our POM warm up. Each year it's a different song, but it's a 3-minute POM routine of POM jacks or different
Wow.
POM moves to try to be progressing their POM technique,
Yeah.
and their POM stamina
Yeah.
and everything as well too. So I think that helps. I'm finding that stamina is such a huge piece of a POM routine.
Yep.
Because they can do it very well in small sections, but then when you put it together, if you don't have the stamina to be able to do it, that makes a difference in everything. So I've been trying to learn ways to develop our stamina as well.
Do you believe in running?
I do.
Okay.
We don't where we practice, it's not necessarily a place that's something that we do that often.
Yeah.
And everything. But we do. I say we do it a lot more, and like I said, in our POM warm ups, or
Yes,
things like that.
that alone, that could build a lot of stamina. 3 minutes
Absolutely.
POM routine?
Yes, absolutely.
What do you think separates the Classy Cats amongst a large majority of their competitors? POM, you've been coming out winning 4 years in a row now? 3?
This is our 4th year. Yeah.
What do you think separates you from your competition?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't see ourselves as separated. I have a hard time seeing that. I
Yes.
think there's so many incredible teams
Oh,
with
for sure.
incredible strength. I think we just try to really work on the power. We spend a lot of time on the POM technique behind it. The performance aspect, I think, is really important. The holding the pictures, I think, is really important. We talk about, if we take a picture right now, are we going to be able to see everybody in the same motion? Or are we going to see people
Yes.
in different spots and things like that? And I think, I think spending the time on all those little details, I think helps us out a little bit. But I don't know. I have a hard time seeing
Yeah.
us like that. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm so sorry. Let me put my phone on work mode. I usually do that right before, and I must
No.
have forgot, so I'm sorry for
No
that.
worries at all.
Do you think that the POM genre is respected as much as it should be in the competition dance team industry world?
That's a good question. I would like to say I don't know that it is.
I don't.
I say
yeah.
I would also say, because I always say besides cleaning, POM is my love language as
Yeah.
well too, and I have such a deep appreciation. I think it's such a challenging category. Like I said,
Yes.
the athleticism and the stamina, in all the different categories, of course.
Yeah.
But I think it's something that can easily be lost. So I love it.
agree.
Like I said, I love a POM routine.
Me too. I think about it often because I've seen a lot of dancers just go straight from their studio to like a competitive team that does POM.
Yeah.
And one thing I've been seeing a lot of studios adapt is doing more like POM master classes.
Yes.
And so I feel like the respect for it is getting there,
Yes.
but it's not as respected as it should be. I would like to see everyone out there do a 2-minute POM routine.
I would love that as
I don't even
well.
think I can do it anymore.
I definitely cannot do it anymore. Well,
It's a beast in its own.
Yes.
And so when I see amazing POM teams like Classy Cats, I have a deep appreciation because I understand the hard work it takes to get to that competitive level.
Absolutely. And I do love how you are noticing studios doing it more.
Yes.
Because I feel like that typically, when it comes to our auditions, that can often be, I have dancers that have really strong technique, but then their POM is not as strong.
Yes.
And of course you can learn anything,
Absolutely. But if your neighbor next to you has that
already has
strong
that strong
technique,
technique.
it kind of makes them a little bit more favorable.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
feel like, every college team has different strengths. And I say, if you're coming to K-State, POM is going to be something you're going to do quite often. And
Yeah.
so I think that is great as they're starting to incorporate it more into studios as well.
Absolutely. How much time goes behind cleaning a a POM routine? Like what would a practice schedule look like, and what would it look like to be inside one of those practices? You don't got to give me your secret sauce, but give me a little teaser.
Absolutely. So since we compete POM and jazz, our season, we learn our choreography in typically October,
Hmm.
November timeframe. But because of all the things happening for school, we learn the choreography, but we're not starting to clean or focus on it
Yes.
until second semester. So when we come back for the second semester, that's where we start diving into specific nationals practices.
Hmm.
We practice 4 times a week for 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Monday through Thursday.
Hmm.
In that time, we start out our beginning of our practice. Like I said, we have a very much set warm up with our palm warm up, our ab warm up, our ballet warm up, and then into our regular warm up
Yeah.
from there. And then after that, we start working on the routines. I try to do it by sections,
Yes.
and take it a step at a time. And then we also try to build our stamina in our full outs that we're doing and everything like that as well too. But
Does your team do any weight training at all?
I would love to do more of that.
Okay.
We're not under athletics. We're under the band, so we
Yes.
don't have that resource.
Yeah.
We have this past year. There's a local community fitness center, 9 Round Fitness, that has sponsored us. So they have been allowing us to come into 9 Rounds to do workouts and things like that. So, but we do not have weight training. But that's one of my goals for the program is I would love to be able to do something like that because I
Yeah.
feel like that would take us to a whole nother level. I think that's a great thing.
Would you say that you swear by your 3-minute palm warm up? Is that something you'll never get rid of?
I will never get rid of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I think it's very important. Like I said, I think there's ways. We even experimented with different ways to do it. We do weights with our palm warm up. In the beginning, when we first start the season, they're not ready to do the weights
Yeah.
yet, so we have to build up to that.
Uh-huh.
But we'll do weights for that. But then we mix some things up with it and everything. But I definitely think that's a really important thing that we do.
Oh yeah, I remember when I was younger training palm, and noodle arms was my coach's favorite word. And so if you had noodle arms, we would have like wrist weights.
Okay.
And I remember 2 practices I had to wear some. And after that, I was like, no, I'm going to tighten up my
No
arms
more
because if
noodle
I put
arms.
on these 2-pound weights one more time, my arms might fly off. How do you develop that signature style for K-State while evolving to stay competitive? And you're almost like, I would say, especially this year, it's setting a standard for future teams that come and compete at the College Classic. If I'm going in, doesn't matter if I'm D1, D2, junior college, I'm looking at K-State to see, okay, this is the energy the judges are looking for, the visuals, the technical requirements. How do you develop that style within K-State? Dance Team Union is a proud sponsor of the No Counts Given podcast. And y'all, Dance Team Union is going on 10 incredible seasons, okay? This coming up 2025-2026 season, it is 10 incredible years of Dance Team Union. And listen, oftentimes dancers are seen as just supporting elements for other sporting events. The most common misconception that dance is not a sport. And Dance Team Union, they strive for their programs to feel like the main event. Dancers are not placed on the sidelines, but treated and respected as the athletes they are. This need for change in the dance team community is the reason why DTU was created. They are constantly emphasizing that you are the main event through all of their major events and opportunities to this community. Find out when they will be heading to a city near you this season by visiting www.danceteamunion.com.
That's such a compliment. So thank you.
Of course.
I think it's helpful. It's helpful as we're going our program. This is our 5th year competing, and I'm
Yes.
finding that as you develop having the vets on your program, understanding what you're doing, that then pass that on to the rookies that are coming in. That's been such an asset to us because we're getting people that understand what we're doing, and then we're continuing to grow people that are wanting to be competitive to be a part of our program, and then it's just continuing to elevate each year as we go. We've definitely been trying to push our technical boundaries and everything.
Yeah.
That hasn't always been our strong point, so that's been something we've been really focusing on.
Amazing.
We do have in our fall, we do weekly technique classes, so we can have one practice a week that is just solely focused on technique,
Yeah.
which has been really helpful for us as well, and just trying to get to work with different people and bring in different experiences. But I try to also do, like I said, with our I believe that the way you do one thing is the way you do all things.
Oh,
so
for sure.
since we spend so much of the beginning of our season doing sidelines, and we'll do dances with our band and different things like that. The way I see it is those routines, even though it's a different type of a POM routine, we need to attack it the same way that we would attack our nationals POM routine as well.
Absolutely.
So I think building those habits all year long, I think, is really important.
I want to talk about the band actually.
Okay.
Because not every team is this lucky.
Yeah.
To have a band, and then you also have cheer with you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure mascot.
Cheer and mascot are together.
Okay.
Yes.
The pride of Wildcat land.
Yes, we love the pride.
What is that energy like? You're in a football stadium and the band's playing, you're doing sidelines with the band. Just tell me what that energy feels like. I need to feel it at some point.
You do. You need to come to K-State. You need to come to the Bill and come to a football game.
I'm coming.
You tell me, we will get you there.
Oh, I will be there.
I'm sure other people would say they've been to the best place on earth, but I truly believe that's the best place on earth.
I love that.
It is just being in there, and we were talking about it. We actually use that for a lot of our analogies throughout nationals, and even just walking out onto the stage. I was like, all right, close your eyes and picture that you're walking out of the tunnel and you're walking into Bill Snyder Family Stadium and you're seeing that sea of purple because it's 55,000 people surrounding you. And the pride is incredible. We are so lucky to be a part of them because not all the college programs are a part of their band. And we're so lucky. Dr. Trace takes incredible care of us. And we believe they're the best band in the land. And they bring such energy that I feel like their energy influences so much of what is happening at the games and everything like that. So we love getting to do so many different events with them, whether it's at football or at basketball. We get to do pep rallies. We get to do so many fun events, and they just bring everything to life. And we're very blessed to get to do that with them.
What goes behind like the creative process? Planning what the band is going to play with your sidelines, or do you guys have like set sidelines that you just throw in with the band? Like, what does that look like?
So we have some traditional sidelines, so I was on the team. So there's some sidelines that I did myself.
I love traditions.
Yes, I do too.
I love traditions.
So and then there's some sidelines that have since evolved or changed. I like to sometimes show the girls the old sidelines of this how it used to be. But we have some traditional ones, and then we have some that are ever changing. So every year we have leaders on the team, and they will choreograph new sidelines, and then we'll kind of have different numbers for them. And so that way the team, it gets some that are very traditional and then some that change every year. So it kind of gives it a little bit of variety while feeling that tradition. The tradition is very important to us too.
Oh yeah. All right. This is kind of a long one.
Okay.
Are there any challenges that your dancers have faced to collaborate and work with so many units combined? Formations, learning how to dance with the band, or projecting the same energy the band is giving. Like, have you guys seen any challenges that dancers had to overcome?
I think our schedule can be challenging in itself.
Oh, sure.
And I think trying to navigate, I mean, even like as we were coming into this national season, I'm in my 6th year coaching and 5th year doing nationals, and I feel like by now I would have it figured out. But before this, I was like, I still do not know what I'm doing here. The schedule is just very challenging because the first part of the year, like I said, we have so many commitments with football, with all the different things that are happening in the beginning of the season. And then as we come into the second part of the season, we're also balancing the basketball schedule. And then, which we have such amazing teams at K-State, which I always tell the girls, I was like, you're a part of such magic because you're getting to compete and represent your school at nationals. You get to be a part of, our women's basketball team just competed at the Sweet 16, and they got the incredible experience of getting to travel to do that. And then our football team, we get to travel to bowl games and do things like that. It's just magical what they're getting to be a part of. But with nationals and basketball season, like a couple weeks before nationals, we had the tournaments, and we were sending girls to travel to them while we were also working on our nationals choreography. And so being able to balance how do we do all these different things can definitely be a challenge. We have, like as you talked about earlier, we have incredible alternates that when we had girls that were gone, we had alternates that were stepping in that did an absolutely amazing job. And so I'm really proud of the culture that we're creating, that we have girls that can step up, step in, and do absolutely anything asked of them. So, but I'm still learning how to figure out the schedule. of how to balance all the different things, and with working on the choreography and kind of what the magic schedule is.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite collaborative moment between the Pride? Like, has there been like a favorite routine or like a moment that you guys have put together?
Oh my goodness, so many. Something that's very special to us is our pregame that we do at football, and so we get to march. As I said, we are part of the band, so especially in football season, everything we're practicing with them 2 days a week. We practice at the beginning of every game day. We start about 7 hours before the game starts.
Wow.
So like an 11 o'clock game, they'll have a 5 a.m. report time.
Wow.
We got to be at the Bill before and watch the sunrise, which is really special.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we march into the stadium with the band. We have a special turn we do right before we walk into the tunnel. But then they take the floor, or take the field, I should say. I'm still in Nationals mode. Take it back but we take the field for pregame, and there's a very specific drum cadence that the band plays, and our band runs out, and we're at the very center of the field. And we have a motion that we do, like I said, that I did when I was on the team. And we call it the Classy Cat. And I think it's something that's very special to all of us. And then we get to march down the field, and we end right front and center looking up at where it says Bill Snyder Family Stadium. And we were talking about that as well, about what that means to us and how much pride we have there.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of special traditions. We have the Wabash Cannonball. We have the Band is Hot that we do every football game, every basketball game. So we have a lot of different ones. I don't know if I could choose just one. It's very special and very unique, the relationship that we have.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the Big 12.
Okay.
What does it mean for you as a coach and your team to be a part of Big 12? That's huge.
It's incredible. It has been such a blessing. I had no idea when I started coaching at the college level. I'm just so blessed, because I feel like it's one of the best conferences, and we just are surrounded by so much talent in the sports, in the dance teams, in everything. It's just absolutely incredible. I'm so humbled.
Yeah. Did the Sweet 16, did that come as being a part of the Big 12, or how did that?
So we got to be a part of the Big 12 tournament.
Yes.
And then because of our rankings, we were able to make it into the NCAA tournament. And then we were a 5 seed.
Okay.
So we were really close for our women to get to host.
Yeah.
We traveled the first round. We traveled to Kentucky.
Yes.
And then after that, we got to travel to Washington. So
nice. I love Washington.
Yes. They
Beautiful.
had a wonderful time when they were there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yes.
All right. So what are some like opportunities that you guys have been a part of, being a part of the Big 12, like travel opportunities, game opportunities? What have been some more opportunities?
Absolutely. 2 or 3 years ago, our football team made it to the football Big 12 championship game in Dallas, and that was one of the best memories that I have as a coach. I know the girls have as well. And actually, it was very special, because when I was on the team, only 2 teams make it to the Big 12 tournament, and so when I was on the team, we made it and we won. It was one of an epic game that was absolutely incredible.
That's amazing.
And so for us to make it back, it was the first time we made it back, and so it was really special to get to travel there. And we even had a special song that was kind of special at the time when I was on the team, that we got to kind of play back as we were traveling there, and just for them to get to experience the moments, experience the confetti when we won the game. It was a very, very close game, very stressful, but we pulled away with the win, and just absolutely magical. So that was one of our core memories that we have from a couple of years ago.
Is there like a standard that you hold your athletes to, since you are being a part of the Big 12?
Absolutely. I feel like I have very high standards. We talk about, like, we're representing something so much bigger than ourselves. It's not about, it's not even just about, it's not just our team, it's the entire university. It's the entire Manhattan community. So we talk about, what you say matters, how you act matters, beyond just on the performance floor, how you interact with people. They're such role models in the community. There's little girls that are always looking up to them and things. So we talk about that a lot, and we talk about you always have to hold that in high regard.
Oh, absolutely. One thing I wanted to ask is, do you feel, kind of taking it back to competition, nationals, do you feel that being a part of such a huge community, like you said, 55,000 fans, do you feel like that performance aspect kind of gives them an edge when they're on the nationals floor? They know how to project up to a large crowd and perform big. So do you feel like the two kind of play in hand with each other and give you that edge at nationals?
That's a great question. And I would say yes and no. I kind of see both sides to that, because because yes, absolutely. I use that as an example of like, think about we talk about at football games, you have to reach up to the top row, those
Yes.
nosebleed seats up there. So how are you going to get that energy up there? So I definitely think it correlates. And we try to talk about that all season long.
Yeah.
But there is such a difference between game day
Oh,
and
yeah.
nationals. And so there's some aspects of that are so different as well.
Yeah.
And even we were talking about we talk about some of those POM nationals faces
Yeah.
are a lot different than what you would do
That is true.
at a
Yes.
football game. Even when we perform it at our basketball game, we'll try to perform our nationals routine.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes I feel like they hold back a little bit on
They're like,
their
"This isn't
nationals faces.
natural."
I'm like, the K-State community will still appreciate your faces, but they hold back a little bit there, just because it's it's a little bit different there. But I think it definitely does correlate that you have it's similar.
Yeah.
For sure.
Next season, are you feeling the pressure yet?
Absolutely.
It's gonna be. I always say, winning is tough.
Yes.
Keeping that win is even more tough.
Yes.
Now having that under your belt in Jazz and POM, how are you going to navigate that pressure going into next season where you're like, okay, this is how we are going to elevate to the next standard?
Yeah, that's a really great question, and I'm not fully prepared to answer yet. I haven't quite processed through all of this yet.
After that question, we'll soak back into the feels from this weekend.
but no, it is. I think, and I've just noticed it even as we have a couple years of winning POM under our belt, and there's a different pressure, there's a different feeling when you are, so hungry for that first title versus the pressure you feel of almost losing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's an aspect we try to talk about, the mental side. And I've learned as a coach I've always known the physical side of dance, but the mental side of dance is so incredibly important to train and to work on as well, because it is so tough. What we do is not only physically hard, but mentally hard. And so I have begun incorporating a lot more mental aspects of our training. I think that's really important. And I think it will be, as we continue to build into a new year of what does that look like and everything for us. And, we always try to put, we're always striving to be the very best we can be, but at the end of the day, the results, I always say, as long as we put it all out there on the floor, we couldn't ask for any more. And that's at the end of our performances yesterday. I said, I don't care wherever our placements fall, because I was like, we are proud of what we did. We're proud of the way we got there. And that's all as a coach I could ask for. As a team, that's all we could ask for. And so, it was definitely a cherry on top with the way the results fell. But try not to make it too much about the placement, but it's also just pushing them to be the best that they can be. And, and I think that's getting hard. It's getting harder that, it's just a level that we got to dig deep into and everything. But for me as a coach, that's where I thrive. Like I love intensity, hard work. So I'm so inspired. I already, like last night, I was like, let's go, let's get started, ready to go for next year and everything.
Yeah.
So
awesome. I want to talk about recruiting and audition processes.
Okay.
Do you guys do recruitments, or do you do like tryout based, audition based?
So we're still audition based.
Nice.
So we actually
I love auditions.
I do too. And we actually have, so we have this coming weekend off, but then we have auditions the following weekend once we get back. So
you have 4 seniors, I believe you said, right?
4 seniors.
So does that mean the max is 4 dancers that you would bring on, or is it just, if the talent's there, we're taking them?
Not necessarily. So yes, we have anywhere from, this year we have 27 dancers. We could have anywhere from 18 to 28, I would say would be the max that we could possibly have. And everybody does re-audition every year, so nobody's guaranteed a spot on the team. So I always say it's open to anything. It's not 4 spots. It's anything can happen. So I do for budgeting purposes and just for also purposes of, what we're able to do, we wouldn't ever be able to take more than 28. And even there's things that we do that 24 is a little bit more of the magic number, and everything like that. So it is kind of fresh every year at auditions. You're trying out for your spot, and it just kind of depends every year.
Yeah. More of a tough question, but I am curious. Have you ever had to cut a returner?
In my years so far, no.
Okay.
But
Blessed be it.
But it does happen, and, and it very much can happen.
Absolutely. So, I've seen it happen with past teammates, and it's not the best.
It's hard. It's very hard.
If it's got to happen, it's got to happen.
It absolutely
Luckily,
does.
it has not for you. That speaks to the character and the work ethic that your athletes have alone, because it's reasons as such why you probably wouldn't make the following season, right?
Absolutely. I hope there's growth in what they learn in their time on the team,
Yes.
and then they're a stronger dancer. My goal is that when they're leaving our program, they're stronger than when they started. So
Amazing. What are some like green flags that you see at your tryouts where you would look at someone and think, okay, I really want to look more into this dancer or take this dancer seriously? What would be some traits that that dancer has?
Absolutely. I believe so much in energy that you're putting out. And like I say, another thing that's my love language is intensity. Like, I think like, I love,
You must work well under pressure.
I do. I was like,
It sounds like
I think that I'm a little bit of a stress state. But no, I love when I can feel and see somebody dancing hard. So I think that, and I think that can be a lost art sometimes. I think people,
Yes.
I think sometimes we don't give it everything we got. And so I just really gravitate to people that are just putting it all out there and everything. I think the performance aspect of it, and those are kind of some on the surface things. But I care so much about the culture of our program that it's also looking beyond just what are they giving in their dancing, but like, are they a coachable athlete? Are they going to carry on? Are they going to wear the power cap proudly? Are they going to represent us well? Are they going to be high class people? Are they going to value that same work ethic? We talk about, I always say this isn't for the faint of heart, like our schedule, what we do is so intense. It's going to be a long year. I even look at our season of, we're finishing nationals right now, and then we get, we're next week we're auditioning, and then we're into our summer, and it's go time. And so I'm looking for people that are going to be grateful for that, and are just kind of thriving under the pressure and thriving in that kind of a circumstance. And sometimes that's harder to tell. Those aren't just those auditing qualities, but I think that's really important. And I try to do parts of our audition that show things beyond dancing, which help show some of those character things as well. And
Do you guys do like an interview at all?
we have parts of our interview, like even when they audition, we have the first round where they submit videos, and they have some interview questions they do through their video. They even like write a little letter of intent where they show a little bit about themselves. And then we have small interviews that we do at actual auditions.
That's nice. That helps you learn the character.
Absolutely. Yes.
What about like red flags? Are there any red flags that you might see while on an audition where you're like, okay, this wouldn't fit the mold that we're trying to build for our team?
Absolutely. I think again, since I do love the full out so much, I was like, I don't like it when people are marking things with, of course there are the right times and things like that, but sometimes I feel like it's really easy to just not go on the ground, but go on the ground, do the turn, do all those different things, because I think that's important. I think especially if you're auditioning, like
You should be
doing
all that.
like,
Yes.
get on the ground, don't mark it, things like that. I think that's important. I think also seeing how they can interact with the other dancers, I think is really important. Because again, I think what's unique about, dance, or not, I just dancers, just being on a team is that you want to be competitive. You want to be the best that you can be. And even looking at, as you have alternates on a team, it's like you're trying to compete for the spot, but you're not competing against your teammates. You're competing to be the best person, the best version of yourself, and things like that. So I think that's, I'm looking for people that are kind of have that we over me
Yes.
mentality.
Yeah.
And so I think a red flag is when you can tell if somebody is very much about themselves and not for the greater good.
Absolutely. I have one final question for you.
Okay.
How does Sara want to be remembered in the dance team community?
Oh my goodness. That is a great question. I want to be remembered for this is as somebody that cares and somebody that has a heart for the dance community and for dance team. I truly do, like, this is my passion. My dancers, I love them so much, and I care so much more than beyond. Like, if you take this weekend, like, what happened was incredible and it was history for our program.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, 50 years from now, like, I want them to be the best versions of themselves, the best human beings, and with their families, with their jobs, and everything they're doing, impacting the community, passing it on to other people, and things like that. So who they are as human beings is the most important thing to me. We spend a lot of time focusing on that versus beyond the dancing. So I think there's a lot of life lessons in dance there's so much more than one singers. So I really hope that they take that away, and that's what I want them to be. I want to be invited to their weddings and eating their children someday, and and just that, that's what's most important to me. So I'm really grateful. I've just been, I feel really blessed because, especially at K-State, to be a part of the program the team that I was on, it means so much to me, and K-State means so much to me. And so I'm just hoping to pass on that K-State family, that K-State love, and to everybody else. So
I love that. Well, it was great to meet you.
so nice.
Congratulations on your success.
Thank
Jazz, POM, battle. It's like you got everything out of your belt at this point. And I just wish you guys the best of luck in your auditions next weekend. And I'm sure we're going to be seeing each other a lot more anyway.
I hope so.
Yes.
So, but thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.
And that's it. That's the interview. I hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Sara. Sara, thank you for coming on the No Counts Given podcast. Sara was like actually my third interview, I think. This happened like way back in April. It is July now, so it is some time that this conversation has happened. Sara, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and sharing your knowledge and love for the dance team world. I appreciate it. Again, if you're watching on Spotify, subscribe, follow, rate us. YouTube, follow, subscribe, like. TikTok, follow, like, share, all of the things. And I will see you on the next episode of No Counts Given.